Testing. I can hear you. Yes, we're right to go. Wow, what a wonderful welcoming performance by Singleton's Town Band. Please join me again in a round of applause. We are incredibly lucky here in Singleton to have the Town Band who perform in such wonderful ways at all our civic ceremonies and certainly contribute in an incredible way to the ambience of all of our events. My name is Jason Linane. I'm the General Manager at Singleton Council, and it's my absolute privilege to be undertaking the Master of Ceremonies duties for today's incredibly important event when we come together to celebrate all things that are great about our country and our town. First of all, it is an absolute privilege and a pleasure to announce the arrival of the Lone Pine School of Infantry Army Guard. It's now time to welcome our official party. And I start with the 2021 Chair of the Australia Day Committee, Councillor Dan Thompson and Miss Julianne Thompson. The Mayor of Singleton, Councillor Sue Moore. Our Australia Day special guests, the Honourable George Souris AM and Mrs Vassie Souris. Lieutenant Colonel Richard Tap Ting Thong, Commanding Officer, Lone Pine School of Infantry. Mr Dave Lazell, MP, Member for Upper Hunter. Father Thomas from St Patrick's Church, representing the Ministers Association. Mr Fred Turner, the 2021 Citizen of the Year. Mr Mitch Madden, representing the Chairman and the Board of Directors of the Singleton Diggers Club. I would also like to take this time to acknowledge the candidates for Citizenship today's ceremony and the nominee for the Young Achiever of the Year Award and the nominees for the Citizen of the Year Awards. We also have a few apologies. Firstly, the Honourable Joel Fitzgibbon MP, Member for the Hunter, John Martin OAM, who's a Freeman of our Shire, Councillor Val Scott and Councillor Sue George.
If you'd like to turn to the things, we have the flag breaking ceremony from the Army base. I'd like to invite the Mayor and Colonel Richard Thap Thing Thong now to inspect. Thank you very much. Very impressive, and it's lovely to have the Army back involved with our services in town today. Okay. I'd like to invite Uncle Warren Taggart to come forward and deliver our welcome to country. So.
Good morning all. I'm Uncle Warren. I'm an elder of the Wanneroo people. I'd like to thank the Singleton Australia Day Committee for asking me to do the Welcome to Country here for Australia Day celebrations for 2022. I'd like to ask that we take a moment to think of the traditional people of this beautiful land, the Wanneroo people. Our elders would walk with us, sit with us, tell us stories. We would listen, we would watch, and we would learn. But it's more for us to understand our land, our law, and our culture. Every part of the traditional land of the Wanneroo people tells a story. And through the eyes of our ancestors and our elders, we can see it, we can feel it. We have Mother Earth opening her arms up every day for us. We have Karwal painting the sky blue with his wings. We have Biami, creator of all, looking over us. This land is a part of us and always will be. Our ancestors have walked this land for thousands of years and we still walk today, leaving our footprints behind so others can follow and keep our culture, our Dreamtime alive. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge my people, the Wanneroo people, the traditional owners of this land that we're meeting on, and extend my acknowledgement to all Aboriginal people and non-Aboriginal people that are here today. Pay my respect to my elders, past, present and future, for they hold the memories, tradition and culture and stories of this land, Mother Earth, that we love, work, play and live upon. On behalf of myself, a Wanneroo elder, I welcome you to our land, and may you leave here with Karwal watching over you and protecting you on your journey forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Warren. At this point, I'd like to invite Father Thomas Kirakal, representing the Ministers Association, to the Australia Day blessing. Father Thomas.
Heavenly Father, I thank you for enabling me, an Indian, to stand here on the Republic Day of India to impart your blessings on this auspicious Australia Day. Bless the people who have inhabited this land for thousands of years and those who from various nationalities came here and made it their home. May they all continue to be generous and welcoming. Father, bless all people of diverse cultures, languages, religious affiliations, and ideologies to live in harmony, respecting one another's differences. Lord, God of all creation, bless us to grow in appreciation and gratitude for the gift of this great land with diverse flora and fauna, and help us to commit ourselves to protect and nurture your creation. Bless all those who embrace Australian nationality to be integrated into the Australian society, accepting the lofty values which this country upholds, and may they feel welcomed by the community around them. Let me conclude with a mantra in Sanskrit language from Upanishad, a holy book of Hindus, written in the 6th century BC. Asato ma sadgameya, tamaso ma jyotirgameya, mrityor ma amrutam gameya. Meaning, lead me from untruth to truth, lead me from darkness to light, lead me from death to immortality. May Almighty God bless us all.
My notes say here I'm to highlight the Australia Day activities. It's a very short list at the moment. I apologise. Because of the hard work of the Australia Day Committee, we'd had a much bigger event planned. We were very keen and ready to get back to normal the week before Christmas. And then the week after Christmas, some Greek called Omicron turned up, and we've had to cancel a lot of things. The highlight of today, though, is this ceremony, which involves the citizenship ceremony coming along, the announcement of the Young Achiever Award, and the Citizen of the Year Award. And the one thing we can do for those who are in the hall, unfortunately you who are looking on the stream can't join us, but I'm sure you can in spirit, there will be a morning tea provided by the Lioness Club of Singleton. So unfortunately we don't have a community gathering on the lawn, we don't have celebrations, and we don't have other things. But I'm sure that you at your home will embrace Australia Day and serve it and honour it as the way you feel fit. Now, it gives me great pleasure now to introduce our Australia Day guest, the Honourable George Soros, AM, who will give the Australia Day address. George was a councillor on for 7 years and Deputy Shire President of Singleton. He entered the State Parliament in 1988 and was member for the Upper Hunter until the year 2015. George held a number of ministerial appointments and was Deputy Leader of the Nationals from 1993 to 1999 and Leader of the Nationals, well, once again, from 1999 to 2003. In June 2016, George was awarded the AM in recognition of his significant service to the people of the community in the Upper Hunter. When we were looking at organising guest speakers, in the past we've tried to highlight people from Singleton who have achieved in a way. And then all of a sudden we realised we've got this guy who come from a Greek immigrant family into country New South Wales, who then achieved the rank of Deputy Premier of New South Wales for a number of years. I think it's an amazing story and I hope George will share it with us. Thank you, George.
Thank you very much, Councillor Danny Thompson. Mayor, Councillor Sue Moore, Dave Lazell, MP, Member for Upper Hunter, newly elected councillors, Commandant Lieutenant Colonel Richard Tapthim Thong, Singleton Council General Manager Jason Linnane, 2021 Citizen of the Year Fred Turner, ladies and gentlemen viewing online and those here at the Civic Centre this 2022 Australia Day. Thank you for the welcome to country, Uncle Warren. Indeed, it always was and always will be Aboriginal spiritual land. On the 15th of May, 1947, my father, Theodore Souris, was naturalised an Australian citizen and British subject. He arrived in Australia in 1937 to make preparations for the remainder of his family to also migrate. In the meantime, World War II inflicted an 11-year separation until Australia reopened immigration and my mother, Canella, arrived, together with two children, Peter and Anastasia. They were added to the naturalisation certificate on the 10th of November 1948. It is unimaginable that my mother and two children endured worldwide depression on the Greek island of Kythera and the torment of being under enemy occupation during World War II. In that time, my father had enlisted in the Australian Army in 1942 and was in the 113th Heavy Aircraft Mobile Workshop until the end of the war. In 1949, in Gunnedah, New South Wales, where my father and his brother-in-law had established the Acropolis and White Rose cafes, my mother bit the hand of the midwife, the wife of the local Nissan dealer, as I was born. 2 years later, saw another Gunnedah birth, that of my younger brother, Stephen. I attended Gunnedah Primary School and learnt to play the piano from the Gunnedah Sisters of Mercy. But before that, as Singletonians know only too well, the 1955 floods occurred and Gunnedah was inundated by the Namoy River, up to the main street. Our house was 10 foot deep in water. Now, last month, with Keepit Dam at 100%, Gunnedah experienced flooding reminiscent of the 1 in 100 year level. And at the same time, Singleton had another close call. I'm sure I was something of a problem child, for in 1961 I was banished to boarding school in Armidale. A few weeks later, when my parents visited for the first time, I greeted them in school uniform, with polished shoes and the school hat. I raised my hat to greet them, and my mother fainted. She had no idea a reformation of such magnitude in so little time was humanly possible. The piano playing gave way to rugby, a sport I embraced and played representatively at all levels. By the time I reached Singleton, however, my injuries transformed me into a rugby referee, which I enjoyed in the Hunter Valley for another decade. In a parallel universe, my wife Vassie's family migrated together to Australia in 1957 from Corinth in Greece as part of the Assisted Passage program. They had to be of good character and pass a TB chest X-ray. Their first abode was in the Greta migrant camp until Aristides was employed by BHP in Wollongong and gained his welding certificate soon thereafter. Vassie's father and brothers, who later operated the McDougall's Hill Caltex Roadhouse, were naturalised in 1960. Vassie's mother refused to be naturalised until 1970. For some reason, only she would understand. Both my parents and parents-in-law found their local Australian communities accepting, engaging and accommodating. Permit me one more very short story. My uncles, Mick and Spiro, migrated to Australia in 1927 on their own at the ages of 11 and 13. They got off the ship at Woolloomooloo and somehow found their way to Central Railway Station, there to board the overnight Northwest Mail bound for Corindai. It's astonishing. They alighted and found their way to a cafe operated by a relative and were put to work in the kitchen, where their contact with Australians would be minimal so that they wouldn't learn to speak English too quickly and be off departing to make their own fortune. Well, they soon spoke English by necessity and were on their way. They established a delicatessen and takeaway food business in Tamworth. These little boys, my parents and my in-laws, were all lucky their sea tickets took them to Australia. The term naturalisation gave way to citizenship in 1984. Today's citizenship ceremonies are one of the most meaningful events of an Australia Day. It's an honour to be witness, and I hope our newly made citizens, for them, this will be one of the happiest days of their lives. Why am I telling you all this? Well, because everyone's story and history is different. Whether you are Indigenous to Australia, were descended from the original fleets, were born in Australia of Australian-born parents, of migrant parents, or you are yourself a migrant, Australia has become the world's greatest multicultural democracy. Education was and still is the key. It enables everyone to pursue a dream, work hard, raise their families and be successful. Whether you relate to Indigenous reconciliation or migrant assimilation, as it was called, you are all equally part of the richly cultured modern Australia as it continues to evolve. To our newest citizens today, I say Australia is an egalitarian, classless and tolerant society, a country of opportunity and wealth. You are not required to renounce any existing citizenship. You have complete freedom of religion and association and work. These 4 freedoms of belief and conscience, 2, freedom of speech, 3, freedom of association, and 4, freedom of possession are the fundamental tenets of Australia. Beyond that, it is up to you what you make of your citizenship. Now, I am lucky. I arrived in Singleton in 1976 and commenced an accountancy practice, Hudson Souris & Co, in Singleton. And Singleton has been a wonderful home for my family for 46 years. Not too long after, in 1979, 43 years ago, Vassie and I were married in Singleton, and our 2 boys, Theo and Ari, taking the names of their grandfathers, were born. I'm delighted Ari is here today. We adore our daughters-in-law Vanessa and Sophie and our 3 grandchildren, Eva, Jonathan and August. I don't know why, really, but I was attracted to elected office, first for Singleton Council and then for the New South Wales Parliament. I'm thankful to the Shire, which gave me its mandate twice, and to the New South Wales electorate of Upper Hunter, which gave me its mandate 7 times. In reciprocation, I always felt and acted as the representative of all equally. Whether they may have voted for me or not, I never cared, but how would you know anyway? I have had a wonderful experience, met kings and queens and presidents from around the world, and be part of the executive of the Mother Parliament and State of Australia over a sustained period and made many friends along the way. I hope my example is but one proof of where your life can take you in Australia. Whatever your goals and aspirations, this is the place to go for it. For I assure you, if you work hard, follow the courage of the millions of migrants before you, and let your achievements speak for themselves, you will make a great contribution to yourself and family, your heritage, and to the great nation of Australia.
Thank you very much, George. Yeah, it's an amazing story. I first come across George on the rugby field. He was a referee. He had a bit of a reputation as being a very good rugby player. I come to the conclusion he must have been a bit of a bastard on the field because as a referee, he didn't let us get away with anything. He knew all the tricks. And I thank him very much for his insights today and the relevance of our next part of our ceremony, the citizenship ceremony. So I'll now hand over to the General Manager and the Mayor to conduct that. Yeah, it says in my notes, thank George, but they forgot to tell me I've got to give him a gift. Was my statement incorrect though, George?
Thanks, Dan, and thank you very much, George. It's such an appropriate Australia Day speech and reflection as we launch into the next part of today's proceedings. Yours and Vassie's story is an inspiration to everybody in our country. It's a story of hope, it's a story of vision, it's a story of perseverance, it's a story of what being a good human being can do and lead to. And it's something that everybody here today, those listening in and watching in through our webcast, can certainly learn from. When I think it was 84 odd years ago, your father Theodore started the journey, and here we are today in this very special part of our ceremony where we get the opportunity as a country to welcome new citizens into what I firmly believe, and unashamedly say, the greatest country on planet Earth. So today's citizenship ceremony will be conducted under the authority of the Minister for Immigration and Citizenship, and as prescribed by the Australian Citizenship Act. The presiding officer is the Mayor of Singleton, Councillor Sue Moore. Today, it's our absolute pleasure to announce that we have 5 people who will be participating in the ceremony. Those being Pramvi Slocker Babulay Premchand, Robert Stewart Jemison, Saraswati Sangrakhan, Pravi Moshka Babulay Premchand Saraswati, and Jakes Theron. And now it's my pleasure to invite the Mayor, Councillor Moore, to address the candidates and minister the oath to each candidate.
Thank you, Jason. Good morning, everyone. As a presiding officer, I have been approved under the Act to administer the pledge of the commitment as a citizen of the Commonwealth of Australia, which is the final step to you becoming an Australian citizen. Today's ceremony marks the final stage in your journey to become an Australian citizen. Australian citizenship is more than a ceremony, and the decision to become an Australian citizen is a very important one. It's an expression of loyalty and a commitment to Australia and its people. It shows a desire to share a common future. As an Australian citizen, you're expected to participate fully in our community, respect the rule of law, and support parliamentary democracy. It's also an opportunity to contribute to the freedom and openness which makes Australia unique. Becoming an Australian citizen does not mean forgetting your country of birth, or the country where you grew up, or its customs or its culture. What it means is a public commitment to embracing Australian values and institutions and bringing them to the enrichment of diversity. Citizenship brings responsibilities and duties to obey the laws, to vote, to serve on a jury and to defend Australia. It also brings civil and social rights, the rights to express your individual culture and heritage and beliefs, coupled with the responsibility to accept the rights of others to express their heritage and beliefs. Only by willingly and fully accepting our obligations as Australian citizens can we ensure that the common good and the individual welfare of ourselves and our children is achieved now and into the future. So on behalf of the Australian Government, I offer my warmest congratulations and best wishes to you all for the years ahead. I now invite the candidates that are undertaking the oath, and the majority are. Robert will do the affirmation in a minute. So those that are doing the oath, if they repeat after me. From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you. And the affirmation, Robert, from this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, and whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Congratulations to you all. That's the final you becoming Australian citizens. So just to follow on with the Minister's message, we are immensely proud of what you have achieved as a nation, and we welcome you in joining us. Our history and culture has been forged over thousands of years through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and more recently with the people from all corners of the earth. Australia has succeeded as a nation by embracing, defending our national values. We believe in the freedom and dignity of each individual, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of association. We value the rule of law, democracy, equality of opportunity for all people. We stand with other democracies in helping to defend and protect these hard-fought freedoms. While we are a resilient nation, drought, bushfires and floods and a global pandemic have challenged our normal way of life. Our social cohesion, a key strength of Australia, has never been more important. Upon taking the pledge of commitment today, I call on you to embrace these values and the rights and responsibility of an Australian citizenship, and play an active part in our local communities and build an even stronger nation. On behalf of the Australian Government, I congratulate you on reaching this very important special day. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's now an opportunity for the individual candidates to come to the stage and receive their certificate from the Mayor. I will call you up individually. I'll then ask you to go back to your seat. Just letting you all know there will be an opportunity at the end of the ceremony to get photos individually and as a collective. So we'll start with Pranvi Sloka Babulay Premchand. Saraswati Senkaran. Pranvi Moska Babulay Premchand Saraswati. Robert Stewart Jemison. Oh, beautiful. And last but certainly not least, Jakes Theron. Now, the Singleton Town Band is to play the national anthem, accompanied by a soloist. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 restrictions, the audience is asked to not stand and also to refrain from singing. Now, that's not a Singleton Council direction. That is something that's coming out of New South Wales Health and our public health orders. So, the Singleton Town Band.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and well-fed soil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty.
Thank you, Singleton Town Band. Another institution that Singleton should be very proud of, the longest serving town band in Australia. I'd like to now invite the member for Upper Hunter, Mr Dave Lazell, MP, to read the nominations for the Young Achiever of the Year. We'd like the nominee to come onto the stage as their profile is read.
Well, thank you, Councillor Thompson, for the opportunity to stand up here, and to everyone on stage, thank you. It's a great honour to be here, of course, not only just be on this stage, but to speak about people who believe in their community, who help their community. And I know Trevor and Jess gave me a personal endorsement for the nominee for the Young Achiever of the Year Award, Liam Byrne. And his achievements are many for such a young man. So let me read out a few of the things that he's been given. As a young man with a great sense of community, Liam strives to make a difference to improve other people's well-being through his thoughtful, diligent and caring nature. He is keenly aware of the needs of those less fortunate and the groups who rely on community donations to exist, and is an active volunteer with strong connections to his chosen charities of Singleton Legacy and Dolly's Charity Shop. Each year, Liam plans and structures his spare time after school and work commitments to raise funds for the Singleton Legacy Group, collecting donations and selling merchandise in support of the Singleton and District war widows and their families. He is a role model to his peers and has inspired others to assist him in his pursuits. He's been recognised by his school with a Citizenship Award in Years 8 and 9 and consistent achievements in classes in 2020, and was honoured with a Principal's Award in 2018 for his work on the School Representative Council. Liam is also an accomplished sportsman, excelling in swimming, cross-country running and soccer, and has represented his school in these events.
Congratulations. Well deserved. You've done so much at such a young Look forward to seeing you in public life.
You want to take your masks off to get a good better photo?
You want to take them?
You're not kissing me.
Liam, don't run off just yet. I'm sure you're prepared to say a few words in recognition of you receiving today's award.
Most people here will probably know me as Mr. Gary Holland's grandson. Please don't hold that against me. 2 years ago, he won the Citizenship of the Year Award, and he came up here with a bright green suit, and he looks like the Riddler of Batman. I'm kidding, Pop. Don't worry. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive this award. Thank you all for being here to share this occasion with me. I'm honoured to be recognised for my contribution, not expecting to be here. Growing up in a military family, I understand the importance of a hand up, not a handout, and the importance of your mental health, which is why I support Singleton Legacy and the Push-Up Challenge with the School of Infantry team. This accomplishment is not something I did alone, and there are many others that deserve to share this award. I would like to thank my amazing mum, Marianne Holland, for always teaching me to do the right thing and always making sure I'm okay. I'd also like to thank my best friend, Lachlan Fleming, and my girlfriend, Claire Hayes, for always being there for me and inspiring me to be the best version of myself. There are so many people I have to thank for me being here today and me being the young man I am. I'm very humbled and appreciative for receiving this award. Thank you very much.
Every year when I have the opportunity to participate in these ceremonies, I walk out with such optimism for our country when you hear the wonderful stories that are put forward by the nominees for our Young Citizen of the Year or Young Achiever of the Year. And Liam, you're certainly no different. And Singleton will be a better place in the future with your participation in whatever shape or form that takes. And before you leave the stage, I know you're itching to get off. Before you do, I'd like to call on Mr Mitch Madden, representing the Chairman and the Board of Singleton Diggers, to make a presentation to you as well.
Thanks.
Doesn't blow up or anything.
Good to know.
Just something for your recognition.
Thank you.
On the mantelpiece. And job well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Liam. It's very difficult. Last year, we had no nominees for the Young Achiever of the Year. Because of COVID, it was very difficult for them to get out and participate. But this year, Liam was nominated by two different groups, separately of each other, and in recognition of his contribution to our community. So, thank you very much for that. It's now my pleasure to invite the 2021 Citizen of the Year, Mr Fred Turner, to come forward and address you on what his experiences were as Citizen of the Year, and hopefully give some insights for this year's nominee.
Well done, Liam. Champion. Madam Mayor, Sue, Australia Day guest George, CEO, School of Infantry, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Tapting Thong, CSC. Welcome to Singleton, sir. Australia Day Chair, Danny, 2022 nominees, award nominees. Singleton's new citizens, official guests, ladies and gentlemen. What a great day it is today. Listening to how George and his family became citizens of this wonderful country and the Surus journey. So typical of the migrant families that help build our country and society. Thank you, George, and I think you were a fine referee. I played for Scone for many years and under George, and never did him wrong thing. I don't know where Danny was in those days. My time as Citizen of the Year ends today, and another chapter starts. And I want to thank everyone for the many messages of congratulations and good wishes throughout the year. I really appreciated your kind words. I have shared many new experiences in my role. I have enjoyed the journey immensely. The Citizens of the Year Award, my induction into the Wombo Hall of Fame. Thank you, Ruth. Rubbing shoulders with Resilience Commissioner Fitzsimmons, distributing resilience funding just recently. Witnessing the passion of our Tidy Towns Committee at a judging luncheon. Those people are rampant. They love this town. It was an absolute honour and privilege recently to be asked to present the New South Wales Premier's Bushfire Emergency Citation Awards to 13 Singleton State Emergency Service members, my peers and my brothers in arms. That was just wonderful. So with all of that, I'd just like to share a couple of observations and congratulate all volunteers and organisations that contribute to what I call the Singleton's heartbeat. Our service clubs, the inspirational people that care about what we're doing now and keeping tabs on our future needs. The Mayor and councillors planning and directing our town's future, GM Jason and council management and staff pulling it all together, providing state-of-the-art amenities, and this is not a paid announcement, this is what I believe in. The Parks and Gardens staff taking immense pride in their work. How good does our town look? Council developing projects and caring for our isolated and vulnerable communities, making them resilient, safe havens. Don't forget the mining and other industries that support our infrastructure needs with grants and initiatives and provide employment to many. And notwithstanding Singleton's Lone Pine Barracks, the equivalent of another small town, employing many Singletonians. The emergency services on call to respond to any emergencies, the business chamber checking our economic meter, the neighbourhood centre providing meals and wellbeing to our less fortunate citizens each day, the wonderful teachers and staff and children educating and caring for our children, the sporting administrators, the teachers, the staff, the volunteers educating, caring for our children, the aged care facilities and our op shops, doctors and nurses and our healthcare professionals, keeping us safe, healthy from illness and the pandemic juggernaut. The welfare hub at the School of Infantry, caring for our soldiers and their families. Uncle Warren, teaching us all about his heritage and the Indigenous areas and everything that we can find in our area. He has found, shown us, and he is teaching us. Thank you, Warren. Our service clubs keeping their fingers on the pulse. The unseen, caring people behind these groups. There are no accolades for them. They're just part of our rich fabric of our society, going about their business and doing what they love and believe in. Those people are Singleton's heartbeat. Importantly for many, the reward for volunteering and caring is simply knowing you've contributed something special for an individual or part of your community and made a difference in theirs and others' lives. It is why we volunteer, it is where we want to be, it's where we want to give our time and energy and protect this great place we call Singleton. In closing, can I ask that we do away with the unfortunate saying, it's okay, it is what it is, and replace it with, it is what you can make it. You can make change and be part of it. You can overcome adversity and provide direction. You can shape your own and Singleton's future. You can make your life and your town a great space to live in and work. Pardon me. So let's all try this in 2022 and keep Singleton's heartbeat healthy and strong. I've been privileged and honoured to be your 2021 Citizen of the Year. Happy Australia Day.
Thanks, Fred. Your insights are really worthwhile. I'm going to invite Dave Lazell MP to come up and read the nominees for Citizen of the Year. At the time we got on stage, two of the nominees hadn't presented to us, so I'm hoping they're in the hall. And as you're being called out, would you please come up whilst it's being read out? If that's it. So at this stage, I'd like Dave to come forward and read the nominees.
Well, thank you again, Councillor Thompson, and thank you, Fred, for your insights. I think each one of the nominees here, to use your analogy of the heartbeat, provide that heartbeat to the Singleton community, and each one of them makes a difference. And for that, I think we're all thankful to each and every nominee. So I'll start by the first nominee for the Citizen of the Year award is Gregory Bruce, recognised for leading by example, working diligently and being a positive role model to everyone. Greg has dedicated decades of his life and energy to supporting others. He was recently inducted as a life member of the Rural Fire Service in recognition of 28 years as a dedicated member. including supporting the Singleton local government area in the 2019-2020 bushfires. Employed as a local area coordinator with Uniting in partnership with the NDIS, Greg provides above and beyond service to support all of its participants, actively listening to his clients to ensure they are accessing the services they need to reach their goals. Greg provides daily ongoing support to new employees, is well known throughout the disability service provider organisations, and is the go-to local area coordinator within Singleton area due to his commitment and understanding with speaking to NDIS customers, parents, carers and service providers. Congratulations. The second nominee is Auntie Jean Hands. With 21 years as the first Aboriginal liaison officer for the Upper Hunter with Hunter New England Health, Jean is a well-known and respected Aboriginal elder who for the past 6 years has been the chair of the Wonnarua Local Aboriginal Lands Council. She is also a member of various local Aboriginal committees, including the Singleton NAIDOC Committee, Upper Hunter NAIDOC Committee, Singleton Aboriginal Reconciliation Committee and the Mac Energy Mount Pleasant ACDF. Jean's community involvement spans many years and causes. She's a regular volunteer at the Youth Off the Streets op shop and the Singleton Neighbourhood Centre, where she cooks meals for the Singleton community members. She's also currently assisting the Ministry of Health as an identified local COVID-19 champion and recently filmed a COVID-19 vaccination video. Jean's contribution as a volunteer and a strong advocate for a local community has been recognised as an inductee to the Wombo Singleton Hall of Fame in 2021, State Government Community Service Award and Female Elder of the Year at the Upper Hunter NAIDOC Awards for the past 6 years. Congratulations, Auntie Jean. Our third nomination, Nadine McBride. Nadine's commitment to the betterment of the Singleton local government area is demonstrated by a dedication to the Singleton Roosters Australian Rules Football Club since 2015, which has resulted in an increase in club registrations under her tenure as club president. Nadine's involvement began as a player in the women's AFL joint venture side with Maitland, and in 2016 she played in the first women's team for Singleton Roosters, as well as helping the club with the game day duties. The following year she enthusiastically stepped into a role of club president, which she has held consecutively since 2017. In addition, she is part of the club's apparel committee and has been the women's team coach since 2019. Nadine volunteered to be the team manager for the Hunter representative team in 2018 and 2019 and stepped up to be the coach for the Hunter representative women's team and the assistant coach for the AFL HCC women's representative team in 2021. Nadine also volunteers as a mentor for the annual Yancoal Science Fair. Congratulations, Nadine. Our fourth nominee is Uncle Warren Taggart, dedicated Aboriginal elder, the Wonnarua Aboriginal Land Council board member and Wombo Coal Singleton Hall of Fame inductee. Uncle Warren Taggart has worked tirelessly to both preserve and share the rich history and culture of the Wonnarua people, including conducting regular tours of the culturally significant Biome Cave. He's a long-time member of the Singleton Aboriginal Advisory Committee and has been instrumental in the organisation of NAIDOC Week activities, as well as regularly delivering Welcome to Country at various events throughout the local government area. Named 2016 Elder of the Year at the Upper Hunter NAIDOC Awards, Warren is particularly passionate about educating children and has authored a coloured book aimed at preschoolers, illustrated by his own daughter, Kerry Ann. Warren also works tirelessly to keep people posted about his beautiful Wonnarua country through social media, radio and TV interviews, university and also TAFE talks. Congratulations, Uncle Warren.
Once again, we are very fortunate to have such individuals in our community contributing to making this town and this country a better place. So I congratulate all the nominees on their recognition by their fellow citizens. I'd like to call on now 2021 Citizen of the Year, Fred, to announce the winner.
It's my great pleasure to let you know the Citizen of the Year for 2022 is Warren Taggart.
Now, I'm sure, Warren, you'd love to say a few words on receiving that award.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Someone would have reminded me. Oh, where am I? I feel very honoured to accept this award. Normally I'll be standing up here doing the work in the country for different community events and for local schools. I wish to share my knowledge of our land, our culture with Australians. Our ancestors' footprints are left behind so others can follow. And now I said in my speech, to keep our culture and our dream time alive. Education about our culture is so important. I'd like to thank those who nominated me for the 2022 Singleton Citizen of the Year Award. And many thanks go to my wife, Libby, my 3 daughters, Kerry and Nikki and Ashley, and my mum. They have given me 100% support for what I do in this community and surrounding areas, documenting Aboriginal sites, taking kids and groups out about our culture. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. It has been a journey for me to know more about our culture. I believe that I am a part of country. This country doesn't have boundaries, but has ridgelines, rivers, and different languages. A traditional belief is that we all come from Earth and will return to Earth. Our mother country is in my blood, in my heart, and I just love it. I'd like to thank every nomination person that were here today. I need a round of applause for their outstanding work in our community. May you leave here with Carver watching over you and protecting you forward on your journey. Oh God, I've said that back to front, but a bit nerve-wracking. All right, thank you very much for the people that really did nominate me. A lot of hard work has paid off. And if you believe in yourself, you can do it, you can. Thank you.
One more presentation. Obviously, this award means a lot to Warren, because I've never seen him lost for words on a stage before. And he was today, so congratulations, Warren, much deserved. And to all the nominees, congratulations. Can we have another round of applause for everybody who's nominated for our awards? Last but not least, I want to call on Mr Mitch Madden, representing the Chairman and the Board of the Directors of Singleton Diggers, to make a presentation of Warren.
There you go, was.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, another one to put with the footy. Touch football track.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not a mock.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
I always love Australia Day. Whatever day in the calendar it occupies, I think it's important that we recognise how lucky we are to be part of this country, how amazing it is to share it with some wonderful people. And today's the one day in the year that we actually recognise people who are doing positive things for our country. So hopefully tomorrow's headlines in the Argus or whatever will be about people who have done wonderful things, rather than footballers playing up or something else. I just think it's a wonderful day, and I'm really pleased that you were able to join us both here in the hall and online. Today's been a special day once again, celebrating being Australian. Many people have contributed to that, and I'd like to thank the official party, the Singleton Town Band, the School of Infantry Guard and Flag Orderlies, and all the people on the Australia Day Committee who have assisted in planning on today, and for you attending here at the ceremony. Those of you who are with us in the hall, I'd hope you'd like you to stay and have a morning tea in the foyer provided by the Singleton Lioness Club. And all those online, I hope you'd have a cup of tea and a Vegemite sandwich or something in response to Australia Day. Enjoy your day, and thank you very much.
I just remind all the Citizen of the Year nominees, if you want to get a photo with the Mayor or with your family on stage, please feel free to come forward. And also nominees for the Australia Day Awards, and Warren and Liam as well. So, and again, thank you very much for your attendance.